Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at the Mezco 112 Collective, the Batman figure. So I just got this out of the box here recently, so I've kind of toyed around with it a little bit, but I haven't gone really full in depth, so we're going to take a look at this figure, what it comes with. First impressions, I like it a lot. I definitely am a fan of a lot of Mezco figures. I'm not like a completist, anything like that, so I'm pretty selective, so I'm not the person that has every release, but kind of just pick up the figures that I like to. I pick up more too, just finances, right? So here's the figure. I definitely do think this is one of those figures that does, people say this all the time, but does look better in hand than it does in pictures that you see online. And once you kind of pose it up good, I think it comes out really well. So let's take a closer look here. So first, love the kind of head scan that it comes on. I know some people say that this head's a little bit too big for the body, which you can kind of see, but I think it fits pretty nice in person. But again, everyone's got a little bit of different opinion on that. Suit material, have like a nice, kind of like a rubber, but yet you can see within the joints, it's kind of in that rubber in the back too, but not quite as thick. So I think over time, proceed with caution probably a little bit, but I feel like the suit will hold up pretty good, especially in the elbows. Unfortunately, that does kind of restrict some of the articulation a little bit, as can be common with Mezco, so you can look out for that. So you do get a double jointed elbow in there, but again, the suit's going to kind of restrict that, but you can still get it pretty good. I'm not the person that will pose probably super crazy with the fear of suit damage, but we get a swivel, get kind of standard shoulder articulation. There is a double joint in the knee, which again, I will not be doing probably super crazy posing, but it does have that as well. But overall, I think it's a really nice looking figure here. One thing we're looking at is the cape. So I love the way that the texturing, it really looks like kind of leather, like it does in the film. So I like that quite a bit. Does have the wiring on each side. And that is one thing I wish that, like, after having the Supreme Night, things like that, where we have the wiring kind of in different spots as well. I'm trying to think, maybe that's not throughout the whole cape. Anyway, so that might be just the edges as well, now that I think about it. But anyway, I wish that we'd have a little bit more posability with that too. Obviously, Batman in this movie was not using his cape too much for like gliding, anything like that, like we would saw in like the Christian Bale Batman movies, but still wish that we'd get a little bit of that here, just for more action shots. I think the cape can add a lot on the shelf, especially if you're not a person that's going to do, I mean, you could do some flight stuff, but even with like the dramatic effect of wind blowing the cape, stuff like that would be really nice to have that little bit of extra and articulation. So overall though, super nice. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a look at some of the accessories. Get this guy to stand here. All right, so like, I'll just prop him up here for a second. So like every Mezco, you're gonna get your standard, oh, he's falling down. You're gonna get your stand, which already have fingerprints all over this with the light. Anyway, we're gonna get that. You're gonna get your standard flight stand that I won't picture. As far as hands goes, we're gonna get a bunch of hands. We're gonna get trigger hands. We're gonna get stuff to hold some of the other accessories. I won't go over all of the hands that we have here, but they are there. Let's look at some of the other head sculpts. So a little bit of like a grimacing look there. I love kind of like some of the weathering that you can see on the helmet. Some of the line work as well. That looks really nice. Looks super nice. Another more stoic, slightly mouth open kind of head sculpt there. And then we've got the Bruce Wayne, Robert Pattinson head sculpt, which I think turned out really good. I mean, sometimes I love Mezco. Sometimes their head sculpts, I feel like, are hit or miss. I love this. I love that we've got the eye black on there too. I know some people with that movie are kind of thinking like, oh, eye black is kind of stupid. I like that because obviously if Batman's going out at night, having the, having the skin tone underneath the eyes might be a little bit kind of distracting and not kind of go with the looks. I like that they acknowledge it during the movie, so I like to have a representation of that as well in figure form. I think this overall looks good. And then they also included the cowl too, which I love. I love doing poses where Batman is holding the mask, looking at the mask with the unmasked kind of head sculpt on. I love doing that with other Batman figures that I have, so that's a great kind of addition there. So love that as well. Okay, so I'm not going to take out all the accessories here. One set of hands, though, I did want to kind of point out was this here. So we've got batarangs, and I love that they included batarangs that are molded onto the hand. Like, that is super nice. I'd way prefer that versus trying to have little batarangs that you're trying to stick in and make them fit, and they're falling and all the things. So those are cool to have as well, but I like having a couple options. So there are 2 molded batarang hands there too, so that is pretty nice. Okay, so I won't take out everything here, but they do have some more batarangs there. They have some of the flare sticks that you see towards the end of the movie there, those little pieces. There are some, I forgot to mention that part too, there are some spots on his belt that you can attach those in the back. Then we have the grappling hook there. So that's that. Oh wait, are these the sticks? I can't tell what these are. Maybe these are the flare sticks. I can't tell. I'll have to look into that more. But anyway, we got handcuffs there as well. There is another, I think it was, gosh, I don't know what they called it. It wasn't the grappling gun, but another type of, I don't know if it was like exploding gel, something like that, that I have here on his belt. There's a little holster there. I'll get his arm out of the way. Holster there for that. But this is where those flares can go towards the back. So that looks pretty cool. Don't have them plugged in there yet. And then we've got, instead of using like the grappling gun that other Batman figures have, this version of Batman obviously on his gauntlets had kind of like the grappling, cables, whatever you want to call them. So there's pieces that attach there as well. So again, not going to go through each little tiny piece, but we have those there too. One cool thing, I don't know if I'll ever use this, but they do have the, I'm not sure what the right term, squirrel suit, whatever, right? The scene where he's in the police station, jumps off the roof, which I think was pretty cool, but then they have that stupid ending where he hits the bridge, and that's just, I feel like it's so dumb. Anyway, this is super cool. This pleather material looks good. It really does kind of from a distance look like that leather material. It does Velcro on the bottom. So there's some Velcro there. There's 2 small zippers that I already undid. So let's try to see if we can get him in. I have not tried this ahead of time, so we'll see if we can get him in there or not. Okay, try to tuck the cape back a little bit. Get his feet in. Go one arm over. Should have taken the hands off first. Cape gets a little bit in the way for this part, so I'll try to get it around. Okay, there we go. Go through, feet kind of go through the bottom. Then, yeah, a little bit difficult to put on, but once we're through, I think we'll be fine. Okay, so I think that looks, that looks pretty good. Get it zipped up. Just getting the cape all the way tucked in, that's a little bit of a tricky part. Okay, I need to pull it down. So once I got it on, you can tell here, a little bit pulled up here, but kind of you get the basic gist. So I think overall, get his arms out like he's flying. I mean, if we had a flight stand, again, I need to adjust mine a little bit more, but I think that looks, overall looks pretty good. Will I ever pose it like this? Probably not. But I do think it functions well. A little bit of a snug fit, but again, I'd rather have that than things be just way too baggy too. So I think I'm fine with that. I get a little worried about some of like the sharp edges with the gauntlets getting stuck, but tough to do this on camera too. If I was sitting in my chair or something, might get it done a little quicker, but okay, so we'll get this off to the side here. Okay, but overall, I think this figure has really good shelf presence, right? If we get him on the stand, I like to kind of, you know, get like maybe in like a walking pose. We can get some of the cape kind of going again. I wish it was a little stronger. I really wish we had a cape that was wired all the way through here. Again, I probably would, I'd rather have some wear than none, but I would rather have some of that. So yeah, I think he has great kind of shelf presence as well. Get him in some good poses. You know, I like that this figure also, I should have mentioned this when talking about articulation. Look down pretty good. Look down, I wish he could look up a little bit more, just like every figure. I wish that we could have a little bit better articulation there, but I like kind of going for the poses there where he's looking up. Right, got enough articulation there. We'll get some accessories on there as well. I think he overall is a good figure. So again, this is my first figure review ever. So please be kind to me. Hopefully they'll get better over time. But super fun taking a look at this figure. Yeah, hopefully I'll be putting up more videos with some more reviews. Mezco, definitely a lot of wrestling figures as well. Some hot toy here or there. So kind of a wide variety of stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely get this figure.